morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Hey, welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sand Hills. It is time once again for Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams, along with retired Marine Colonel Jeff Drummond. Good morning, Colonel.
Hey, Moore County. Hey, up and at 'em. Perfect day, nice and cool, maybe a little wet, but get outside, do some exercise. Maybe you have to wait for this afternoon for the golf, but that's too bad. You'll just have to get out there and do some push-ups and pull-ups first.
All right, you got your standing orders. Let's get busy. Don't forget, of course, this program being heard and seen around the world on the live video stream. That's available right now at talk973.com. Upper middle of the homepage there has the link that will get you there. If you're on a mobile device, you just need your YouTube app and put Mornings with the Leader Man in the search. And as always, if you just want our crystal clear digital stream of our station, well, that's available 24/7, 365. Online at our website at talk973.com. Upper right-hand corner of every page has an icon that says On the Air, Listen Live. Just click that once and you're listening that quick. If you're on your mobile device, many streaming services will play us. Pretty much all of them except iHeartRadio, because they only stream stations they own, and they don't own us. But you can get us on Stream, on TuneIn. Many other apps will do it. Just put WEEB in the search so we appear at the very top, and look for our logo. Weather for us today here in the Sand Hills is going to be nice. Tomorrow's going to be about as good as it gets this time of year. Partly cloudy today. May see an isolated drop or two of showers, but don't sweat over much of that. Look for high of 83. Then tonight, more of the same, below of 57. Tomorrow, just sunshine, no rain, and dew points in the 40s. So your laundry on the line will dry in about 15 minutes.
Yeah, just turn into a raisin if you get out there.
Yeah. I won't be hardly able to stand myself. But anyway, you'll feel good. You feel like walking and without turning into a wet rag on the third step. So use it, because things are going to change. Clear Friday night, a low of 57. Throw the windows open and enjoy the fresh air. Then for Saturday, mostly sunny, still nice. High of 84. Will be a little more humid, but not out of sight. That happens on Sunday. Yeah, Mother Nature does a big U-turn with that humidity and dew points and shove them right into the muggy range. Dew points will be at 70. The temperature will be 88. That doesn't combine well. Trust me. Then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, guess what? It gets worse. Chance of showers, thunderstorms every day with a high of 90 every day. Back to, otherwise, it's going to feel like it did on Monday here. And that
Monday
carries through.
Nice day.
Huh?
Monday was a nice day.
No, it's humid. Remember real humid?
Yes, I do. It's a nice day.
Well, this is one place where me and the Colonel differ. I say Monday sucked. Right now around the Sand Hills, winds are west of 3, visibility 10 statute miles, pressure is 2988, dew point 62, humidity maxed at 100%. It's cloudy and 62 right now here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. All right, it is 7:37 past the hour on this Thursday morning. One of the things I wanted to talk about, and I'm going to talk about it both hours, is the incredibly stupid, pathetic, failing pilot. They start out with a headline about slamming Aberdeen. We post everything we're talking about on this school situation and the school board up on our website. Every editorial's up there. The Zoom launch show from yesterday's up there. You can click it, hear it for yourself. And then the supporting articles are right below it. All of them. And we got more information coming in every day that we've FOIA'd and getting from other places.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, you got to go somewhere else.
So the case continues to build. And it wouldn't surprise me if one day soon an investigation from the government will start. But because we're being had, and that's what we're jumping up and down. We don't dislike Aberdeen, and we never have, never will.
Not one word was ever said about Aberdeen in particular.
Yeah, that's why the pathetic fellow in Pilot, they say Aberdeen's smear is unbecoming.
That's absolutely an untruth and an innuendo there,
Yeah.
Pilot.
So it shows you where they're coming from. They just make it up. Because everything we say, every show we do is podcasts up there. They can listen to it.
Right. Yeah.
And I defy you to find the Aberdeen smear.
I go and have lunch down there at one or two of the different establishments in Aberdeen. I go down there often enough. I live in Whispering Pines. It's not generally on my way to too many things I'm doing. But I go down there, and I do business there.
Yeah, it's a nice town. I have nothing negative to say about it. We are talking about our students. They're building on land. When they presented this land to the council, John Barath presented it in a big old PowerPoint presentation. Not once did he mention Superfund sites around it.
And that's the point. That's the sole point.
Here's the point also. And that is, you wouldn't build your house on that land. You wouldn't build your kid's house on that land. All these people critical of us wouldn't build their house on that land. So why are we putting a school on that land? Because we're stupid. Number one, the public, which isn't informed enough, would think otherwise once they get all the facts. That's what we're trying to do, is get enough of the public informed that it will spread out the truth. And then people can come back to the website and see for themselves and draw their own conclusions. But the other thing is, we got some players in there just doing under-the-table stuff. I mean, you take, for example, the architectural firm that got all 4 contracts for all 4 schools out of 14 applicants. Because literally, from all indication is the fix was in. The FSLA, the architectural firm, kicked in $5,000 of their own money into the
bond campaign.
Yeah, bond campaign to get it passed, because it meant millions of dollars to them. Because they knew the fix was in for them to get the job.
Yeah, make that selection, right? And they did the same thing in Horry County, South Carolina.
Yeah.
They fully funded the bond campaign in Horry County.
That was $60-some thousand, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah. The bond did not pass, and they didn't get a job. So that was...
Not then, but they got it eventually.
But they had to fix in here because John Barath used to work for them. And John Barath was on the selection committee, didn't recuse himself with a conflict of interest. No, he helped select them.
Yep.
So the fix was in, and they picked SFLA to do this. Now, they've also gone and designed a bunch of stuff into it, so a bunch of energy-saving devices, the type of things that you never get your money back for. It may take 30, 40, 50 years before you recoup your costs.
You'll be tearing these schools down, just like you're doing for the one in Pinehurst. You'll be tearing the school down before you recoup those expenses.
Yeah. So it doesn't make sense to be putting this extra expense on the taxpayer.
Right.
But it does in John Barath's eyes, and he approves all of this.
And they did the same thing in Horry County. Horry County School Board and administration officials delayed the vote and waited until actually gave SFLA, or actually First Floor as it's called down there, they're associated companies, but the company down there in Horry County gave them the inside information to develop the plan and design to suit the school board, and then presented it, and actually presented a concept that was $50 million more than what the school board in Horry County budgeted for. But it was still accepted, despite several entities, several people down there telling them not to accept that bid. $50 million more than what the school board budgeted for. That's starting to sound a little familiar here.
Yeah.
And now Horry County's really paying for it because they're, running into school delays and over budget on the building, et cetera. Gee, are we having that problem here now? Not yet, but it's coming.
And here's another thing that needs to be investigated. On the first school, the one that's going to go in, be accepted, that should open in the fall, or it'll be summer, but you know what I mean. The bids, when they came in on that school from the contractors, were all, I was in a meeting with some high-ranking county officials and parts of the commissioners, and they said, they delighted in telling me why all the bids came in within $2,000 of each other. And look,
there's a clue.
I looked around the room, and there wasn't any what moment there.
Yeah.
They thought that was great. I said, well, what that shouts to me is there's an incredible amount of collusion going on.
Right.
Because $30 million bids do not come within $2,000 of each other.
Never.
Not all of them. You might have a fluke with one, but not all of them coming in with the same number, give or take $2,000. And Jay's Thompson Construction out of Cary gets it. They were the ones that had the lowest bid also on the second school, but they withdrew to go do another project. And then you had Clancy and Thays. They were second on the list. And basically our administration goofed that up to the point they withdrew. And here's the thing. The law allows you to withdraw a bid. When you put in a bid for a school, a court, or house, or whatever government building, you have to put what's called a surety bond or cash up equal to 5% of the bid. That puts some teeth into it and says, only serious, before we waste time with you, only serious bidders better be bidding. Otherwise, you stand to lose your surety bond. Well, surety bond was issued by Clancy and Thays to the tune of $1.5 million to cover their bid. And then all of a sudden, they had a call from the architect, SFLA, saying, well, we have to get this price down because we only have X amount of bucks to pay you. And I'm going to come back to the X amount of bucks because it's going to be a real shocker. Just hang on a second. The Clancy and Thays says, well, if you don't have enough money to pay me, I'm withdrawing my bid. Well, that's when we pointed out the law, that was 5 days after they had submitted the bid. And we pointed out the law says the only reason you can get your bid back would be, first of all, it has to be done within 72 hours, 3 days. Second thing, is that right, or is that 4 days? I can't think now. It'd be 4 days, wouldn't it?
Right.
Yeah, 72 hours. You have to put in the retraction for your bid. But you can only do that if and only if you had a accidental mathematical error. Well, it wasn't till we brought that up on the air, then all of a sudden an email appears from John Barath alluding to mathematical errors. And I'm sure these companies have gone through this before and keep a mathematical error in the file back at the office, so to speak, just in case. And but the point is, that didn't happen until for 13 days, right, long after the 72 hours. And the school board won't cash in that bid bond, which they should go to Travelers, say, hey, they didn't retract in time, we're here to collect.
Right. And none of this is far-fetched, because when you read the articles about what happened in Horry County, Robbie Ferris, the owner of SFLA and this first floor construction or development firm, colluded with Horry County School Administration and school board members. They were in contact with both and offered lawyerly advice. They had the lawyers involved. There was a lawyer involved on the school board. There was a lawyer involved from Robbie Ferris's SFLA Architects. And they both traded information on how they could bypass South Carolina state law to do certain things, to usurp the bidding process, declare themselves a sole source, etc. So it's not unbelievable that somehow they had already researched this bid bond issue and figured out a way around that.
Right.
If you're intellectually honest and have any curiosity about it, you'd want to look at it.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, here's the other thing. That cost us $1 million for that to happen. Why? Because the next highest bid was $1 million higher. And than it was for Clancy and Thays. So Helena Wallen Miller puts out a big old letters trying to soft pedal this thing and saying, oh, it was an accidental mistake and it would cost us more than we get litigating this.
There's no accident.
Which is all BS. They, if you make your claim against Travelers, and Travelers would have to pay us. If they, for any reason, don't, you go to the insurance commissioner and say, find out why.
Pay us, right?
Yeah. Because he can suspend their license to do business in this state.
And we know he's an honest man because he didn't take the bribes.
That's right.
From the GOP.
So we would not be litigating it. He'd be getting it. That's the difference.
Yes.
Now, here's the real shocker for all of you. All right, they put in their bid. In their bid, now we got what is it? Monmouth Construction?
Moncrief or something.
Yeah. Construction put in their bid. And they put allowances in there for things like windows, doors, bricks, so forth and so on, lights, blah, 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 which is often done. There's nothing critical about that. The problem is, okay, so all the allowances fall on us. What they did is they go out and they said, we estimate that you're going to need X amount of bricks. Now, from having built 2,000 homes, I can tell you, ordering your brick I was always pretty good at it. A good faith estimate, because as the landscape terrain varies a little bit, more bricks is used, obviously, and bricks are used in a lot of ways, even in the laying of block, because you have to, I won't get too technical. Anyway, a lot of brick is used, and sometimes, your estimates vary. But they gave you an allowance on the brick. And what if, and the lights and everything else, and what if, after you get those materials there, or before you get the materials there, what if the price goes up on some of these items that's been specified? Well, the school board gets to pay it. Gets stuck with the bill.
Yeah, the way the contract's written.
Yeah. And here's the biggest one of all, the contingency allowance. In the contingency allowance, they put down $300,000. Sounds like a lot of money. It's 1% of the contract. So they put $300,000 down. Trust me, when it comes to contingencies, that covers all the things you couldn't think of, or all the weather-related setbacks you get, or something didn't go right, or
inferior workmanship, a lot of things.
Yeah, something the inspector comes out and says, no, this got to be over there.
Right.
And
poor design work.
So that's contingency. You pick up all the crap you couldn't think of in the contingency. But they put just 1%. Normal contingencies on a project run between 5 and 10%, or in this case, $1.5 million versus $3 million. Somewhere in there is going to be your number for the contingencies. And so what's going to happen is, when the contractor gets through with the building, he's going to say, here's the bill.
Final bill.
Plus your thing's over the 1% that you now owe us back in contingencies. Maybe you had rain and the wall of dirt caved in next to your footings that weren't waterproofed yet. Well, all that has to be dug out. Contingency. Everything's getting written to the contingency file. And guess what? The school is stuck paying it the way this contract's written. The contingency should be on the contractor. He can put whatever contingency he wants in there, but you deliver the school at that price. That's the point you're trying to make. But no, he's got it written, so he takes no risk at all. And anything that isn't in the contract, it happens, he just bills the school for it.
And that's on the school administration for allowing that contract to be written that way.
Yeah.
That's inexperience.
John Barath.
Right. Well, or that's a former employee writing a contract for your old boss.
Yeah. So they've written the contract that Clancy and Thays has no risk. They just go out there and they got their amount of profit built in, and they're going to get it all without any consequences to poor management or poor performance. And we get stuck with the bill, and here's where the screaming is going to come in. That bill's going to come due, and guess what the school board's going to do? Oh, we got to open it in the fall. We got to have $3 million more to pay the contractor for the overruns.
Well, yeah, pay the contractor, plus we got to put, furniture in, and we didn't figure for this, and all the usual garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where the scream is going to come in. It's going to happen not once, not twice, but 4 times on these 4 schools. Now, here's a way around all that you can start to make up for lost ground. On the Pinehurst School, no contract has been let. And they need to just get their own contractor's license, perfectly legal. Other counties have their own contractor's license, and build it ourselves. We'll save between $4 and $6 million on the cost of this school. That's a lot of money, and that can cover a lot of contingencies.
And the expertise to do that school resides in Moore County.
Oh, does it? We got a group of builders willing to do it for you. And if we were to do it and get plaque rights, in other words, companies that cut their price for us for a lot of the materials.
And a lot of them will do that.
Yes. We're not saying don't make a profit, but make less profit. And since it's for the county schools, you'd be surprised how many would cooperate.
And several people, 1 or 2 individuals who wanted to provide some things for the schools were already turned down.
Yeah, we had a man who lived up at number 9. He's moved out of the area now. But he was here and went to the school system and said, I would gladly build that Pinecrest new gym for you before it was built for free to the school. All I want is it named after my wife.
Right.
Well, they got some name up there now. I don't know who it is, but or who they are. But as if they were going to do it anyway, why didn't they take the money, the free money? You know what the school said? Oh, we got lottery money to build that with. We don't need your money.
Yeah, exactly.
So now it's underway. We're putting in a new gymnasium up there at Northmore High School.
Right.
Which maybe the lottery money could have been used for. And we take the other one for free.
And you wouldn't have your taxes going up here like a fiend pretty soon.
But in all fairness, the current school board was not involved with that. That was before the current school board.
Well, the point is that it's been offered before, it's been turned down, when it would have saved millions for the taxpayers here. And
it just puts the staff in the tizzy when you don't do things like it's always been done.
Right. And the gentleman that offered to build that gym where'd he move to? Minnesota, and build a nice gym for a college up there.
We had
build a field house for him.
We had a large builder here in town who told, I'm not using names because they're not here to put their 2 cents in, told a senior county official that this was for the school there on Morganton Road. And he says, I don't know what the guy bid on the school, what Clemson thinks bid. He says, but I'll beat it by 20%, and if you give, and I'll get started right away.
Oh
no, we can't do that.
No, they can do a lot of other things, but they can't save the taxpayer money.
Yeah.
But they can do anything else to spend taxpayer money.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. I didn't know about
And I
that.
told that person that I said, you're going to have to decide whether you're going to go down in history as just another employee or a great employee. The greatness comes from taking a strong stance and
Cloudy
seeing the
skies
vision.
and a little bit of mist to kick off the day, but we'll have a gradual decrease in the clouds. It's going to be a breezy day today with high temperatures in the lower 80s. Overnight tonight into Friday morning, mostly clear, breezy, and turning cooler. Temperatures tonight get down into the middle to upper 50s. Friday looks like a beautiful day, sunny and nice with low humidity and highs in the upper 70s. For the North Carolina News Network, I'm meteorologist Amy Wilmoth in the Weather Center.
Broadcasting from the top of the North Carolina Sandhills, 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM, WEEB, Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The U.S. Navy to the rescue. The Fifth Fleet assisting in the evacuation of dozens of crew members from two oil tankers hit by explosions in the Gulf of Oman. The BBC's Frank Gardner.
There were two distress calls made by the crew of these ships saying that there was a fire on board. There appears to have been some kind of explosion that preceded that. The UAE authorities say that this took place in international waters and around 32 kilometers from the coast of Iran. It appears to be, but not confirmed, some kind of deliberate attack. There are unconfirmed reports that it was a torpedo. Another source suggested it could have been a mine, but it's not just a simple fire.
The U.S. blamed Iran for previous attacks on four tankers in the Persian Gulf region. Tehran denied any involvement. If a foreign power offered him dirt on a political opponent, President Trump says he'd be willing to listen. He says he might or might not call the FBI.
It's not an interference. They have information. I think I'd take it. If I thought there was something wrong, I'd go maybe to the FBI if I thought there was something wrong. But when somebody comes up with Oppo research, right, they come up with Oppo research, oh, let's call the FBI. The FBI doesn't have enough agents to take care of it.
The president in an exclusive interview with ABC's George Stephanopoulos. Protesters in Hong Kong singing hymns and holding up signs criticizing police violence a day after street clashes left dozens of people injured. 6 arrests so far in the Dominican Republic in the shooting of former Boston Red Sox slugger David Ortiz, the suspected gunman among those in custody, according to authorities in the Dominican Republic. Wall Street this morning, stock futures are higher. Dow futures up 64 points. NASDAQ futures better by 31, and S&P futures up 9 points ahead of this morning's opening bell. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Okay, first time we read this commercial, he got one, so I had to get one.
And we are both in love with this product.
The glass chair mat by Vitraza. They're unbelievable.
You know that junky plastic chair mat under your office chair or at home? A piece of garbage.
It's the ugliest thing in your office.
Vitraza glass chair mats are beautiful.
Durable.
Each one will support over 1,000 pounds, so it'll even hold me. They've got a lifetime warranty, and the way you feel rolling over smooth glass instead of cheap, crackly plastic, it's like working in $1 million office. And it's your office.
We got to mention this. Shipping is absolutely free.
Absolutely. Lifetime warranty, scratch-resistant, stylish Vitraza glass chair mats.
You can't get them at the office superstore. You got to order them direct at vitraza.com/life. That's V as in value, ITRAZZA, vitraza.com/life. You'll want to remember that website. There's a discount code waiting for you for 10% off, only at vitraza.com/life.
Chinese media reports country's top trade negotiator says external pressures can help the country's economy. Vice Premier Liu He describes the pressures that China is currently facing as inevitable tests. In the words of the minister, the external pressure will help us improve innovation and self-development, speed up reform, and push forward with high-quality growth. He did not directly reference the U.S.-China trade dispute in his remarks. The euro has gained ground on the dollar as a global currency used for government reserves, rebounding from historic lows as U.S. sanctions deter some countries' use of the U.S. currency. The dollar, though, still very much the dominant international currency used for trade, borrowing, as well as reserves. And again on Wall Street this hour, stock futures pointing to a higher open, Dow futures up 54 points. News and analysis at townhall.com. Senate Finance Committee Chairman Charles Grassley says the country's retirement savings laws are in need of an overhaul.
Grassley says he and other lawmakers have identified flaws in the multi-employer retirement plans.
We know what's going on. We know what's broken.
And thanks to the work done last year by the Senate Select Committee on Aging, Grassley says they even know what steps need to be taken next.
It's time to put pen to paper and fix these plans.
Grassley says his goal is to protect the workers who've been putting money for years into their retirement accounts. Bob Agnew, Capitol Hill.
The fast-growing market for meat alternatives has a surprising new player, Tyson Foods. Tyson is one of the world's largest meat producers. It will begin selling nuggets made from pea protein in grocery stores this summer. And a blended burger that's made from beef and pea protein will follow in the fall. More on these stories at townhall.com.
War Dog's Army Surplus Store in Southern Pines is Southern Pines' #1 surplus store. Serving the Fort Bragg area, we buy, sell, and trade military, tactical, outdoor clothing, and gear. We are your military surplus low-price leader and take pride in serving our local military members and community. Bring us your military gear because we pay more and sell for less than anyone in the area, guaranteed. At War Dogs, we make it our top priority to provide quality, high-end tactical gear at the lowest prices. Come in today and bring your used gear or check out our massive inventory, the largest in Southern Pines. We're open Monday through Friday, 10:30 until 5:30 and 11 to 4 on Saturday. We're located at 675 Southwest Broad Street in Southern Pines, right across the street from Beefeaters. Or give us a call at 910-920-7749. That's 920-7749. War Dogs. Well, there it is again. One of the big box pharmacy stores swallowing up yet another big box pharmacy. Now, you've heard me talk about supporting the mom and pops, but next time you're in one of those big chain stores and you see the endless lines of cash registers but wonder why there's only one register open, and you've been waiting a long time to save 3 cents on that one item but get gouged on another, then just think of all that money they're making for that shareholder in another state by cutting staff to the bone. At Health Innovation Pharmacy, all of our registers are staffed for your convenience. Health Innovation Pharmacy on Pinehurst Avenue in Southern Pines. Locally owned and serving Moore County since 2001. Being overweight is the #1 health problem in America today. It leads to so many avoidable health issues. If you have a weight problem and finally want to do something about it, then do what I did and participate in the Transforming You Weight Loss Program offered by Dr. Sharon Wright at Wright Chiropractic in Seven Lakes. It's a customized, physician-assisted program based on your body type and your goals. A healthier, more vibrant, spirited, and slimmer you emerges. Now, I lost 25 pounds in the first month and 50 pounds to date. That keeps me motivated. Now, the program is easy to follow. I'm Steve Leader Adams, and if I can do it, you can do it. Give Dr. Wright a call and set up your no-charge consultation about the Transforming You Weight Loss Program at 910-673-2225. That's Wright Chiropractic at 673-2225. I'm Steve Leader Adams with the WEEB Viewpoint Editorial. On February 26th, the General Contracting Company of Clancy and Fays submitted a bid to construct the Southern Pines Elementary School on Morganton Road. As required, they attached a bid bond in the amount of 5% of their bid, or in this case, approximately $1.5 million. On March 5th, Clancy and Fays issued a letter withdrawing their bids, stating they could not build a school at a reduced price as requested by the school board's architect. This withdrawal letter came 7 days after the bid was presented to the school board. The problem is the law says that the bid can only be withdrawn within 3 days after submission and then only due to an accidental mathematical error without forfeiting the bid bond. This was pointed out on WEEB's morning program on March 13th, 15 days after the original bid was submitted, and after WEEB pointed out the law. John Barath, Executive Officer for Operations at the Moore County Schools, stated in an email that Clancy and Thays suddenly had a mathematical error and that the school board should forgive them and not make them forfeit their bid bond. Wasn't that nice of John Barath to give away $1.5 million of your money? The problem is it wasn't John's to give away. He deliberately ignored the law, and true to form, the school board endorsed John Barath's asinine recommendation. The school board lied to the public and said they would have to get in a prolonged legal fight to collect the taxpayers' money. Well, that just simply is not true. They would only need to make a claim against the surety bond attached to the bid. If Travelers Insurance fails to pay on the bid bond, you turn it over to the insurance commissioner to resolve the problem. This is a continuation of a long-running problem in our school system of the tail wagging the dog. Now the school board wants $4.3 million more from you. Don't you think the school board needs to start by collecting our $1.5 million from Clancy and Thays before they stick their hand out once again to the taxpayer? I'm Steve Leader Adams, and that's my viewpoint.
NCN News. I'm Mike Riley. 2 oil tankers in the Persian Gulf region were attacked by unknown forces, with the crew of both ships reportedly surviving. One tanker is owned by Japan, while the other is owned by Norway. CBS News correspondent Imtiaz Tayeb has the latest.
Now, just to underscore the ripple effect these tensions in the Gulf have around the world, the price of oil has already spiked. But the main concern is that all of this could boil over into something far more serious.
Search efforts have resumed for a Gaston County teen who went missing while swimming with a friend Monday evening on the South Fork Catawba River. Crews returned to the water this morning in order to locate 14-year-old Ethan Britt. His friend was able to make it to an island and was rescued Tuesday. Bill Melton is with Gaston County Emergency Services.
Researched and searched these areas again. Crews are at this time still searching.
President Donald Trump tells ABC News that if a foreign power offered him damaging information on a political opponent, he'd be open to accepting it and that he have no obligation to call the FBI. CBS News legal analyst Jonathan Turley, a law professor at George Washington University, says this isn't against the law, but people don't like it.
As it stands, the president has adopted a position that is at odds with his own government. Most citizens have indicated that they don't approve of this type of information coming from foreign governments.
A state Senate Republican has proposed that North Carolina sheriffs be able to issue handgun permits that allow for unlimited purchases rather than requiring a permit for each firearm. Senator Danny Britt of Robeson County says his bill that was before the Senate Judiciary Committee on Wednesday would eliminate the requirement that sheriffs issue a permit for each pistol purchase. Several North Carolina House districts in and around Raleigh will have new boundaries soon after a rare bipartisan vote to support a redistricting plan. You're listening to NCN News.
At AT&T, we believe that access to affordable home internet brings you incredible opportunities. You can enjoy the power to explore a digital world of possibilities and connect with family, friends, and the things that matter most. That's why there's access from AT&T. If a member of your household is a SNAP participant, you may qualify for home internet at a discounted rate of $10 a month or less. No commitment, no deposit, no installation fee. Plus, get an in-home Wi-Fi gateway included at no extra cost. Call 1-855-220-5211 or visit att.com/access now to learn more.
SNAP refers to the Federal Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Pricing excludes taxes and fees. Includes 1 terabyte of data per month. Data overage charges apply. For details about data allowance, go to att.com/internet-usage. Geographic and service restrictions apply.
North Carolina's public universities are another step closer to having the option to sell beer and wine during campus athletic events with a bill that's cleared another General Assembly committee. The measure passed by the Senate Commerce Committee on Wednesday gives university trustee boards authority to issue alcohol sale permits on campus. The St. Louis Blues beat the Boston Bruins last night in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup, winning the championship for the first time in the team's 52-year history.
Some Blues fans were still in so much shock after the win they were at a loss for words. When talking to me about it, Mike Winslow from St. Charles was among them.
I feel really good. Thank you, Alex.
Anthony Cano had a little bit of an easier time.
I'm a diehard Blues fan. South City Rays. Let's go St. Louis. First time in almost 60 years. Stand up, St. Louis! Yeah!
Cano was among thousands of people who poured out of the Busch Stadium watch party, hoping to get across the street into Ballpark Village, his attitude on par with almost everyone there. Alex Stegman for CBS News, St. Louis.
North Carolina coastal management leaders have objected to a proposed seismic survey related to oil and gas exploration in the Atlantic Ocean, saying the plans to fire air gun arrays every 10 seconds are inconsistent with state policies. Scientists say there's something big buried under the moon's largest crater.
It's probably not anything like the monolith found on the moon in 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Evidence seems pretty conclusive that it hasn't been covered up by natural erosion or other forces. It seems to have been deliberately buried.
But scientists at Baylor University say there's something buried hundreds of miles underneath the moon's biggest crater at the South Pole, where NASA hopes to land humans in a few years. They say it's about 1,200 miles wide and could be the metallic remnants from an asteroid that hit the moon and created that crater 4 billion years ago. It could also be a natural phenomenon as the moon evolves. Peter King, CBS News.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
A great start to the day today with a little bit of drizzle out there, but we'll have more sunshine as we head into the afternoon. High temperatures today will climb into the lower 80s, and it will be a little bit on the breezy side today. Overnight tonight, temperatures will cool down. We'll have mostly clear skies. Lows will get down into the middle to upper 50s. And then Friday, we'll have plenty of sunshine, low humidity with highs in the upper 70s. For the North Carolina News Network, I'm meteorologist Amy Wilmoth in the Weather Center.
Right now here in the Sand Hills area, we're looking at cloudy skies, 64 degrees, humidity 100%, dew point 64, pressure is 2991, winds calm, visibility at 10 statute miles. It's 8:15. Let's take a look at your Sand Hills news for this Thursday morning. Plans to build a gated apartment community in Southern Pines were approved Tuesday by the town council. The development will be located on a 31-acre tract abutting US 15501 and Morganton Road. Pilot reporting conceptual design submitted by Bob Kuntz of Kuntz Jones Design called for a complex of 12 buildings containing a total of 288 apartments. Kuntz said the community will be highly amenitized, with tenants having access to a clubhouse, swimming pool, fitness center, car wash, and other facilities. According to Kuntz, construction will not encroach on the property's floodway or cause significant harm to the state's wetlands. He told the council that a recent biological assessment of the land, which is currently covered with vegetation, found no issues related to endangered species. And the Sentinel reporting that the Moore County Board of Education discussed the impact of the county's proposed fiscal year for 2019 and 20 budget on school operations. The project called the projected budget calls for an increase of $850,000 for operating costs and $739,000 and a one-time operational expense for the new McDeeds Creek Elementary School, which opens this August. The additional funding will allow for the hiring of 2 new teachers to ensure classroom size compliance, funding to provide an estimated additional 75 charter school students, as well as providing state-mandated salary increases to certified and classified staff. That's the latest Sand Hills news this morning, but stand by. Here comes your latest in sports right here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. It is 8:17.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. Blues fans were in a froth as they crowded Ballpark Village in St. Louis for a watch party and had reason to celebrate after the Blues won the Stanley Cup for the first time in the franchise's 52-year history.
It's over. The game is over. The series is over. The wait is over.
and the St. Louis Blues are the Stanley Cup champions for the first time in franchise history.
Chris Kerber with the call on the Blues Radio Network after Jordan Binnington stopped 32 shots, and the Blues took Game 7 of the final, defeating the Bruins 4-1 in Boston. Ryan O'Reilly led the Blues with 23 points in the postseason, and he won the Conn Smythe Trophy as the playoff MVP. He's also the first player since Wayne Gretzky in 1985 to score goals in 4 straight Stanley Cup final games. Blues defenseman Vince Dunn says beating the Bruins was a great way to finish it off.
They've been a historical team. They've won so many cups, and we came into this season with a lot of hopes, and we let each other down for a little bit at the start of the season, but there was no doubt in our mind that we couldn't come back and come out on top.
That Bruins coach Bruce Cassidy said they fell just short, and it's disappointing.
It's an empty feeling. It's a long year. Someone had to win, someone had to lose, and we came out on the wrong side of it. It's not the way you picture it. It's as simple as that.
Pebble Beach, quite possibly the quintessential U.S. Open venue. Its setting, steeped in history. Its list of champions long, obviously. Nicklaus, Watson, Woods among them. 3-time Open champ Tiger Woods.
There's nothing like playing a U.S. Open setup here at Pebble Beach. I mean, the golf course is not overly long. It's not, big in that regard, but man, it's tricky.
Round 1 set to begin a little more than 2 hours from now. The first pairings scheduled for 9:45 Eastern. This is NCN Sports.
Medicaid expansion, school safety, a statewide bond package, the next state budget. North Carolina lawmakers are tackling these and other topics. You can follow all the action with Carolina Journal. How would these proposals affect you, your wallet, your family? Carolina Journal offers answers. Available each month as a free newspaper. Every day online at carolinajournal.com. Carolina Journal, your best source for government news that affects you. Visit carolinajournal.com today.
Being a Farm Bureau insurance agent means being local. It means insuring your child's first car and standing beside you after a storm. It's more than a business to us. It's a friendship. So call an agent who calls North Carolina home. Because when you need us, we're there. In every county, every day. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
Kevin Durant has ended the suspense concerning the injury he suffered during Game 5 of the NBA Finals on Monday. Golden State Warriors all-star forward confirmed he has undergone surgery for a ruptured right Achilles. That'll keep him out of commission for the next few months. Police in the DR say they've captured the suspected gunman and 5 accomplices in the shooting of David Ortiz.
Investigators have also released surveillance video showing how the ambush was planned. They say Eddie Feliz Garcia and the shooter can be seen with another group of people tracking Ortiz in 2 cars and a motorcycle. Ride over to the Dial Bar. Once there, the gunman hops off, runs behind Ortiz, and shoots him before getting away with a weapon in hand.
Police have not yet said what motivated the group to target Ortiz. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
Born in Napoli, Italy, Sal Doria, owner of Fratello's restaurant in Pinehurst, makes his hand-tossed pizza with the passion of a true Italian. Fresh ingredients, homemade mozzarella, and amore. Come in and experience the ambiance of European luxury, hearty cuisine, warm hospitality, and an outstanding wine and beer list. Military families, come in and 15% of your meal is on us. Every Friday and Saturday night from 6:30 to 9:30, Fratello's welcomes Carolina's favorite piano man, Clarence Levine. Feel like staying in tonight? Fratello's has got you covered with Grubhub and DoorDash, so you can simply call in your order and have it delivered to your doorstep. We're located at 9735 U.S. Highway 15501 in Pinehurst, just a few doors down from Hickory Tavern. Fratello's Restaurant, making you fall in love with food all over again.
Serving more people, more places, 24/7. If your AC breaks down, we'll restore your indoor heaven. Installation or repair, one call will be there. It's your family, don't delay. Comfort's just a call away. We're Comfort Services. Comfort Services.
Come to
Comfort Services in Aberdeen to get a free estimate on a new Carrier system or heat pump, and you may qualify for a rebate up to $2,000 from Carrier. Get in on the savings and purchase a qualifying heating or cooling product before the Cool Cash rebate ends June 30th. You may also qualify for financing options as well. Stop into Comfort Services on Highway 5 next to the Habitat store in Aberdeen, or call 910-695-2665. Carrier and Comfort Services, a great team.
Comfort's just a call away. Comfort Services.
Neck, shoulder, or back pain can be downright debilitating. If you have those issues, you already know that, and you don't need me to tell you about the opioid crisis. There's another, better way. I'm talking about chiropractic, a healing art that's also science. Dr. Sharon Wright of Wright Chiropractic in Seven Lakes invites you to come in for a discussion about how chiropractic works and could work for you. To be sure, there are many of you out there that have reached the proverbial dead end trying to treat and manage your pain.
This is Dr. Wright. I can't guarantee I can fix every problem, but I will tell you honestly whether chiropractic can be of help for your particular issue. Living with pain is not always the only option. Doesn't it make sense to explore every avenue before resigning yourself to the limitations of pain? Call our office today to schedule a consultation and start living again. 673-2225.
At Sandhills Collision Center in Seven Lakes, we proudly serve all your automotive repair, auto body restoration, and collision repair needs. With our brand new state-of-the-art cheap straightening system and eco-friendly AmeriCure paint booth, you can rest assured that your vehicle, boat, or RV will receive top-notch repair and flawless paint jobs. And for all you aviators, we do aircraft body repair too. Sandhills Collision Repair Center is veteran-owned and offers a 5% discount to our military family. We give free estimate and accept all insurance and self-pay. All our ATECs will provide superior customer service from start to finish because we are committed to quality and prompt expert service. Bring your automobile, boat, or RV by today for a free quote at 135 Village View Drive in Seven Lakes. That's just 2 minutes from the Food Lion on Seven Lakes Drive. Or call us at 910-673-AUTO. That's 673-AUTO. Sandhills Collision Center, because you deserve the best.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and you're in the Zumwalt Zone. Some of you are old enough to remember a movie called Billy Jack. It's about a guy who takes on a town full of crooks by himself. Now, please don't mistake this for me thinking I'm some kind of Billy Jack. I'll be 70 years old in a week and a half, for crying out loud. And like all the guys who spent their lives the way I've spent mine, I'm falling apart. So no, I'm not Billy Jack. I'm just an old guy who's sick of bullies. There's one line in the movie that most people remember. Billy Jack tells the head bully, "I'm going to take this right foot, and I'm going to whop you on that side of your face, and you want to know something? There's not a darn thing you're going to be able to do about it." Well, pathetic pilot, figuratively speaking, I don't want you to hide under the couch, figuratively speaking, I'm going to take this right foot, and I'm going to whop you on that side of your face, and you want to know something? There's not a darn thing you're going to be able to do about it. You guys sit around in your little chairs, your little couch, and you write about things that men like me have done, and then you have the nerve to call me weak and call me a cockroach that runs off when the light's shown on me. I know that you're not used to hearing this, and I'm assuming they never taught you this in your little journalism classes, but the truth matters, pathetic pilot, and when you're the opposite side of the truth, you lose. I hope everyone has a good day. From the Zumwalt Zone.
Cloudy skies and a little bit of mist to kick off the day, but we'll have a gradual decrease in the clouds. It's going to be a breezy day today with high temperatures in the lower 80s. Overnight tonight into Friday morning, mostly clear, breezy, and turning cooler. Temperatures tonight get down into the middle to upper 50s. Friday looks like a beautiful day, sunny and nice with low humidity and highs in the upper 70s. For the North Carolina News Network, I'm meteorologist Amy Wilmoth in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills #1 morning show. Mornings with the leader man. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
This Sunday is Father's Day, also known as You Knocked Up My Mom Day. Thank you for being slightly less embarrassing than all of the other dads. And may you never show off your moves and dance in public ever again. We want you to know that Mom could not have divorced a better guy. And thank you for giving me just enough emotional baggage to be in a creative field, but not quite enough to be an exotic dancer. Check this out.
Tell me, do you know what day it is?
It's Thursday.
It's Thursday! Morning, gentlemen. This is your wake-up call. Time for work.
Coffee is ready.
Brought you a cup of Joe.
Why wouldn't you just say coffee?
You've never heard that expression before?
No.
It's been a long week, huh? It's just Thursday. Not even the weekend. I know.
Tomorrow's Friday. I can't wait.
I can't wait. Get back to work.
Back to work, everyone. It's showtime.
Good morning. Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sand Hills. It is time once again for Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams, along with retired Marine Colonel Jeff Drummond. Good morning, Colonel.
Hey, morning, Moore County. Hey, time to get out. Weather's nice, still a little cool, maybe a little damp. Get out there, do a little run, do some push-ups, do some pull-ups. Get moving.
All right, you got your standing orders. Don't forget, of course, we're being heard and seen around the world on a live video stream. That's available at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is where the link's located. That will get you there. If you're on your mobile device, your YouTube app will do the work. You put Mornings with the Leader Man into the search. And if you're on your mobile device just needing our audio stream, that's available from any streaming service nearby, except for iHeartRadio, since they only list the ones that they own, but all the others will too. Roku carries us, a whole bunch of places. Anyway, I just put WEEB into the search, and if you're on the website, it's available to you in the upper right-hand corner of any of our web pages at talk973.com. A little icon says listen live on the air. Click it once and you're listening that quick. Weather for us today here in the Sand Hills is just going to get better and better. Partly cloudy today with high of 83. Tonight, partly cloudy 57. Good sleeping weather. Tomorrow, sunny with a high of 80, but dew points down in the 40s. Clear tomorrow night, a low of 57. Saturday, good too, mostly cloudy with a high of 84. Sunday, those humidity levels and dew points to a U-turn and head straight up into the muggy range. Partly cloudy 88 on Sunday. And Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, chance for those afternoon thunder boomers every day with a high of 90 and dew points in the muggy area.
All right.
Right now around the Sand Hills, winds are calm, visibility 10 statute miles, pressure is 2991, dew point 64, humidity maxed at 100%. It's cloudy, 64 degrees still here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. All right, it is 8:30 past the hour on this Thursday morning. Just a couple more thoughts. We were talking last hour about the incredibly stupid, pathetic, failing pilot and their editorial attack on us. And didn't call us out by name, but we know who we are. They call us cockroaches, but as John put it, we're the cockroaches going to plant one right beside your head and ain't a damn thing you can do about it.
Well, the only lie that was told is exactly what they led off with in the editorial, is that, we've somehow criticized Aberdeen, which is a lie.
Yeah. And again, I remind everybody we have a special page up there that has all of John's comments, all of the editorials, all of the supporting documents, all there for you to read to come up to running speed. I know some of this can be boring, but you're being taken to the cleaners, and your pocket is being attacked over and over again. And you wait till these 4 schools get finished and that overdue bill comes in, you're really going to hear those school board members scream then. And guess where they're going straight to? The Board of Commissioners to get those bills paid.
Yeah, and I talking to a friend of mine last night, and they've already figured out that their property taxes are going to be in the neighborhood of $300 increase. So, like we've said yesterday, you've got plenty of people out here. $300 means a lot to them. I know it doesn't mean much to so-and-so standing out there on number 2 every other day playing golf, but means a lot to somebody who, maybe has a farm out there, maybe has his own small business, mechanic, and some of those guys, painters, and all those people, and that money hurts them.
All right, well, let's get to some things we didn't get to last hour. Father's Day is this weekend.
Is it this weekend?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess you'll have to stay home all day Sunday and receive your children.
No, I don't think so.
Here's a Father's Day's gift that will remind Dad of how he tolerated your childhood.
Oh, no. It's easy and painless, and with a little help
Wait a minute, let me get it backed up. I didn't have the volume up. And I'm a professional.
Most fathers know childbirth is easy and painless, and with a little help from what's-her-face, raising kids takes almost no effort at all. This Father's Day, give Dad what he really deserves: booze. The same delicious beverage that helped Dad drift off to sleep while you were up all night with colic. The same tasty refreshment that allowed Dad to enjoy the ball game while you were cutting your teeth.
Bottom of the seventh, 2 out, nobody on.
The same relaxing concoction that kept Dad snoring away on the lazy boy while you were being rushed to the hospital with playground injuries. This Father's Day, help Dad relive the soothing, carefree days of your childhood. With booze. Available in small, medium, and what do you mean I have kids?
And what does Dad really want from his children? Well, here's tips from the elderly.
And now, Father's Day tips from the elderly.
Give Dad what he really wants on Father's Day. Leave him the hell alone.
That was a Father's Day tip from the elderly.
And when you open your gift your kids give you, like a tie or coffee cup, I always think it's funny to say, well, that sure makes up for the $250,000 it took to raise you.
And now, Father's Day tips from the elderly.
When you open your stupid gift your kids give you, like a tie or a coffee cup, I always think it's funny to say, well, that sure makes up for the $250,000 it took to raise you.
That was a Father's Day tip
coffee cup
from the elderly.
Got plenty of coffee cups.
Yes, we're drinking actual coffee today, not tea.
Yes, we are.
I could smell it, the brew down the hallway.
From Over the Tracks Coffee there in Niagara. Yeah. Great coffee.
Trump and Biden crossed paths yesterday on the campaign trail.
We now take you to Donald Trump and Joe Biden crossing paths on the campaign trail.
You're crazy. I know you are, but what am I? You're a nerd. I know you are, but what am I? You're an idiot. I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I? Infinity.
This has been Donald Trump and Joe Biden crossing paths on the campaign trail.
Joe Biden isn't smart enough to carry that
on. Let's see if you can understand what this sound is. Now you know what that is?
No, it sounds like Brazil or something. I don't know.
That was the sound of the first ever booty slapping championship.
Okay, there you go.
It was held in Russia. Women competed to smack each other's rear end so hard their opponent would have to take a step forward. They were mostly fitness and Instagram models. I don't know how they thought of this, and we didn't, but they did. Michigan is investigating a doctor in Kalamazoo for improperly cleaning rectal devices in between patients.
All right.
Or improperly. Yeah. I'm going to skip it because I know what's going to come.
You should.
Yeah.
That one you should. Go back to the booty slapping. That would be all right.
Let's see. There's an observation deck sticking out from the top of the Willis Tower in Chicago, where tourists can stand on the glass floor and look down. And on Monday, it shattered.
Oh, jeez. Did anybody go through?
It was just a protective coating on the glass.
Oh.
And no one was in danger, but still, here's a foreign guy and his American wife who was standing on it when it all happened.
I heard a noise and like a crack. A woman with two little kids and they look like pale, like because the whole glass cracked. I think something fell from the ceiling because I saw like a little piece, metallic piece, like a square, and was in the middle of the crack of the glass.
That was intimidating enough for me, so when that happened, I was like, nope, I'm not doing it.
I mean, it was a little scary, but you know it's safe. Nothing's gonna happen.
I know it's safe, but I'm just very scared of heights, so.
So now you have an excuse to never go up there again.
Nothing's gonna happen.
Exactly.
Yeah, when the cracks appear below your feet, you start to wonder.
Yeah, where was that? I'll make sure I don't go there.
Chicago.
Oh, well.
I think it's that one that's the floor's cantilevered out.
It doesn't matter. I wouldn't be in Chicago for any reason.
A company tried to give away free season passes to an amusement park called Kentucky Kingdom on Monday. It turned out to be a mob scene, so an official had to get on a police loudspeaker and cut it short and tell the adults they ruined it for the kids.
Open the door! It's 1 o'clock! Because y'all keep on cutting us and pushing us. We've been sitting out here since 9 o'clock. They shouldn't have tickets. Open the door!
At this time, we're going to shut down the sign-up. If we decide to do another sign-up on a different day, and you will be notified. I apologize to all the children who are being affected by this, because as adults, we need to be able to have control of our children, control of ourselves, and understand that this did not have to happen.
In other words, when the parents quit acting like children, they'll do it again.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there was an all-female brawl in the middle of the intersection in North Carolina last week. Apparently, it all started in a trailer park over stolen jewelry. We just like it. We just like it for the two women who narrated and the line, "Oh, Grandma getting out of the car."
What type of is this? Yo. Is she pregnant? Oh my god. Oh, Grandma getting out the car? Yo, this is some.
Call the cops. Good Lord. Hey, jewelry's jewelry, you know.
Yeah. Let's see if it's going to bleed into something else I'm going to do.
If somebody tried to steal your gold chain, you'd probably fight back.
I don't have a gold chain.
You need one.
It just doesn't look dramatic against white skin.
Okay.
Here's a little random fact for you. The voice of Surrey is a real person named Susan Bennett, who's a voice-over actor who lives in Atlanta with her husband and son. Apple has never officially confirmed it's her, and she didn't even know she was the voice of Surrey until Apple came out with it. They bought her voice when they acquired another company, but it's her. She did an interview about it not long ago.
Hello, I am Susan Bennett. I'm the voice actor who provided the voice for Siri. Siri, would you like to be interviewed by CNN?
This is about you, Susan, not me.
The Siri voices were recorded in 2005, in the month of July, 4 hours a day for the whole month. So when I recorded those voices, I had absolutely no idea where they would end up. When I first discovered that that was my voice, to be honest, it was a little creepy. It took some time for me to get used to it, but she and I are friends now. I'm leaving now, Siri. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Susan. I hope you have a nice day as well.
Talking to yourself, okay.
Yeah.
I don't need to have a voiceover to do that.
And according to a new survey, the most popular vegetable in America is?
Vegetable in America, broccoli.
You're right.
Of course I am.
The stuff that makes me hurl. And it wasn't even close. Broccoli won in 38 of 50 states. You know, it's time to visit the great Portlandia sketch where Steve Buscemi can't get anyone to like celery.
It's been a good year. Heirloom tomatoes didn't even exist 5 years ago. Now, eaten like steak. Kale consumption is at an all-time high. Excellent work, Larry. And Brussels sprouts are back. Don't know how you did it, Bill.
They sell themselves.
Which brings us to celery.
Would it kill you to put a little celery in there?
In a beet salad?
It's good.
It doesn't taste good, honey.
Why don't people like celery?
It's full of soluble and insoluble fiber. You don't understand that's very hard on the digestive system.
My life is falling apart.
Yeah, celery about the most unexciting vegetable there is. That
you got to put some peanut butter on it or something.
Will that help?
Cheese, peanut butter, yeah, sure.
Okay. Well, for Father's Day, Budweiser did an ad saluting stepdads for stepping up, with real people talking about their stepdads and what they mean to them.
Mark is my technically stepdad, but really my dad.
This is my wonderful stepdad, Randy. It feels like he's been around forever.
This is my lovely stepdad of 28 years now. I should say just dad at this point.
I didn't really have like a close relationship with my actual dad, so when I met Mark, I was like, oh, this is like what a dad is.
When I met Paul 28 years ago, I was a fiery little a brat.
You said it, not me. As a stepfather, you have boundaries, and the relationship, it develops over time. And I just took things, day by day, and we grew as a family.
Okay. In the second part of the ad, the adult children asked their stepdads to legally adopt them.
Okay.
Yeah. Please legally adopt me so I can get part of what you have when you die.
Well, you can do that anyway, yeah.
Let's see. Students in a good news story. Students in a school in New Jersey surprised their teacher with tickets to Hamilton as an end-of-year gift. Well, they would have wasted their money on me.
Yeah, I probably would have.
He'd entered the Hamilton lottery 4 years ago and hadn't won, so 30 kids got together and raised $600 to buy him the ticket.
Is that all they were?
You guys are awesome.
Congrats, Corby.
Make sure you declare that on your income tax.
The what?
I said make sure he declares that on his income tax. That's all those tickets cost? I thought they were way out of sight.
That's pretty high for a ticket for me.
$600 for a Broadway show that's sold out?
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like it. I don't know.
That's ridiculous.
Well, the show's ridiculous, but we won't go there.
A 6-year-old in Florida was worried for her less fortunate classmates wouldn't have enough to eat this summer, so she started a food drive in April and got people to donate over 1,000 jars of peanut butter and jelly. Her grandmother says she's really proud, and her principal says it inspired people in the area to pitch in.
We are getting more and more peanut butter and jelly so they could have peanut butter and jelly for the summer.
My mother asked her what should we do, and she said peanut butter and jelly.
Other parents, other students, other schools, and even other districts I'm hearing, students are following her lead and make sure that no kids go hungry over the summer break.
That's the best thing you could do in your life, is to help the less fortunate without looking for anything back from it, doing it from your heart.
I like what I'm doing. I like what I'm doing.
Yeah, all right. Well, you bring me the peanut butter and jelly, no bread? What's wrong with you? Come back, give me some bread.
Crackers. Use crackers.
Let's see. about it for that. All right, things we need to know so we don't sound stupid today. And they include the music world is watching tomorrow because it's the day that Bruce Springsteen and Madonna released their latest albums on the same day. Oh, boy. Bruce has Western Stars. Madonna has Madam X. Sasha Obama graduated from high school this week. Aren't we happy?
Don't care.
A Florida man stopped by police, had cocaine traces on his nose. He denied it was his. I bumped into somebody, and they must have had it on their shirt. Not mine.
Good Lord.
Canada has passed a Free Willy law banning whales, dolphins, and porpoises from captivity. Fact check, no cars are not melting in Saudi Arabia due to extreme temperatures. Facebook users are sharing a post showing melting cars, claiming that the rising temperatures has caused the cars to melt in Saudi Arabia.
Okay. And people believe it.
Of course. It's on Facebook. It must be true. Come here, Sally Ann. Look at this picture. Yeah. Why would civilization set up shop? Or is that blame that hot?
Well, they couldn't. That's the point. I mean, if you can't leave a car out in the sun.
I mean, you got Dubai. Look at all the buildings they have built there.
Yeah.
And it's blistering hot.
Well, it's blistering hot.
120 degrees during the day in the summer.
And people have survived there for thousands of years.
Why would you want to? That's the point.
Well, you have to ask them.
Study says women gain weight when sleeping with the TV on.
You gain weight with the TV on? Why? Okay, well.
Study says more rich millennials are moving to Washington State than any other besides California. And Rush had a interesting point on this yesterday. He was saying that Donald Trump ought to go to California at least one time, to do a speech.
Yeah, he probably should.
He says, no chance of them going Republican.
Right.
But he says none of the Democrats will be going to California because there's nothing that they can do for them. They're a failing state. They got bills they can't pay. But regardless of how bad it is, they will still go all Democrat.
Yeah.
And so why go there and promise them something you can't deliver when you're going to get the vote anyway? All I can do is pull away from your campaign, not add to it.
Right.
And
well,
he says
just to keep them in the game, keep conservatives, keep Republicans in the game out there, because you have lots of them that don't vote, especially if they're in an overwhelmingly Democratic area.
Yeah.
They just don't vote. There's no sense in it.
Yeah, well, like I said, they have people sleeping in the streets, so many illegals running around, free health care for all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you go into the emergency room needing somebody to sew your arm back on, I'm sorry, there are all these people over here, although they're not from America and although they haven't contributed a dime, they're ahead of you in line. Right. Sorry.
Yeah, U.S. citizens are second-class citizens there in many cases.
But why didn't I get in college? I had straight A's. Well, because the illegal took your spot. Sorry, we're full.
Either that or some person bought the spot.
That too. But the frustrating part is that state is so broken, there's no point in dealing with it.
No, that's true.
They can't fix it themselves.
Los Angeles, San Francisco are done.
And it's America will eventually have to step in and bail it out. Yeah. But until that day, there's no advantage to going there. 83-year-old singer Steve Lawrence has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. Study says having a life purpose is linked to a longer life, whatever the hell that meant. And scientists have found a 40,000-year-old severed wolf's head preserved by permafrost, complete with teeth and fur in eastern Siberia. Well, if you could find some living DNA on it, would you clone it?
They probably will, or they'll get to it eventually. But they also found some other animals. I know the woolly mammoth, or whatever they call them now.
Yeah.
And several other. I think they previously found a wolf or a wolf cub in the permafrost. So I'm sure they're working on. But hey, it'll be important. We need to have a ancient 100,000-year-old wolf to to study and bring back to life. It'll probably weigh about 300 pounds, and it'll get loose, I'm sure, somehow, and chew everything up.
According to a recent survey of millennials, 12% say doing this is a great date idea. What is it?
12%.
And I'll give you a hint. It's doing something together, going to a place for entertainment.
Oh, okay.
Where is that place?
Where is it? The bingo.
The zoo.
Well, that makes sense. The zoo. Yeah, lots of people like the zoo.
The germiest edible things served in restaurants are these served with your drink.
The germiest things? Probably the toothpicks.
The lemon wedge.
Oh, the lemon. Yeah. That makes sense.
First is grabbed by the bar back and his nasty little hands and put into the tray for the
nasty tray that probably hadn't been
the
cleaned.
Bartender, yeah.
And he cut it on the board that's been used for weeks without being cleaned.
And the bartender, first thing he has to do is cut his fruit for the night. And it's not washed. It's just cut.
Yeah.
And then they bring it out on a little plate.
Well, I was thinking the toothpicks that you stick the olives through, that would have a, somebody's fingers all over.
Yeah,
them.
I'm sure.
Sit out on the bar and,
According to a recent poll, men think eating meats make them more manly. Yeah, meat.
Raw.
In recent times, the amount of people that use tobacco products decreases every year. College students smoke 3 times as much as non-college students of the same age. The average age a child asks for their own cell phone ad. The average age a child asks for their own cell phone is ages 4.5.
4.5 asking for their own cell phone.
Women are twice as likely as men to yell if they're the boss. According to USA Today, the average person does get a new cell phone about every 18 months.
Nope.
An amazing 84,000 people in the U.S. are over the age of 100. Well, that's a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's...
Got to keep those averages up.
I didn't do rim shots today, so we'll fill out the hour with that as we get into this morning's world-famous rim shots. All righty, here we go. Clean 2 things off my plate here so I can get to things easier. Keanu Reeves is being praised for not touching women when he poses for photographs with them. You can't do that? Asked Joe Biden. The Olsen twins turned 33 today. At their party, they served cake, ice cream, and Coke. I don't know what the drinks were, though. So. Chris Evans turns 38 today. He's the Avenger who taught a generation of kids that steroids are okay if they lead to superpowers. Quentin Tarantino confirmed his Star Trek movie will be rated R. The movie will reportedly contain graphic violence, racial language, and since it's a Tarantino movie, gratuitous shots of Uma Thurman's feet. A Scottish woman set a Guinness record by cycling across the globe in 124 days. The record is the world's unhappiest wife. Nike is now using plus-size mannequins in the store. They also unveiled a new slogan, "Just chew it." A new study says being pregnant is as hard on a body as running a daily marathon. But at least during a marathon, you don't have the urge to cut your husband's penis off. Amazon has been ranked the nation's most dog-friendly workplace. Ironically, it's the people who are treated like animals. Yeah. All right, well, so it goes for your Thursday. Have yourself a great, safe day. We'll see you back bright and early tomorrow, 7 to 9, for a TSIF Thanksgiving Friday. Until then, be sure to support all the mom and pop businesses you hear on our airways because they are the backbone of our economy here in Moore County. Your money will stay here, roll over, and create jobs. And don't forget, millions of Americans, they have fought and they have died to give and protect the freedoms that you get to enjoy today. So live today worthy of their and their family's sacrifice. I'm Steve Leader Adams and the Leader Man, and Nick and Colt the Dog. We'll all see you at 2 o'clock this afternoon at the Sunny Dog Park